see in detail what this all about. You might be aware that there are GM crops, that is genetically modified crop, and cotton is the only genetically modified crop which have been given permission to be genetically modified. No other crop, although there are some crops like mustard, brinjal. You will read in detail those also when we will reach the topic. Mustard and brinjal, these are the some crops which are in process to get GM, that is genetically modified permission, so that they can be used, that is they can be yield genetically modified. Why it is required, why we use the step like GM, that we'll read in detail. Next topic we are going to read is general consent for CBI. Hope all of you must be reading newspaper or must be looking into the news and all. So if you are looking into the news, there would be a event which unfolded 3 days back, in which the finance minister of Tamil Nadu break down during ED arrest, and he immediately shifted to the hospital. So ED just arrested it for some charges and all. Okay. At the same time, next day, repercussion of this result, Tamil Nadu government removed general consent for CBI. What does general consent mean? Suppose a CBI, you know that CBI is a central agency, right? So if CBI is reaching to any state and he has to catch any culprit or something like that, in that case, CBI has to, if general consent is removed, then CBI has to take permission from a state government before reaching to that state, so that he can arrest that person and all. Okay. Many other states also, I think there are 10, 11 other states also, all those opposition ruled states like West Bengal and all, they have already removed the general consent. Tamil Nadu joined the league and recently removed the general consent for CBI. Now, I hope you might have joined that session where I have discussed that the role of constitutional authority. What is the role of constitutional authority? CBI, ED, these are some constitutional authorities, and they should be independent. Okay. When they do some, you can say they are not working as a organization of the central government. So in that case, the basic federal structure which we have is going to be defeated, because it is very sad state. You know that CBI is a highly decorated force of India. Whenever we say that, yeah, ye jaanch kharab ho raha hai, state police kharab kare, we say that CBI should be called for that. And if their reputation get vanished, or you can say if their reputation is in bad state, then no one believe to them also. We believe in army, but I hope you know that we generally do not believe in our state police. Okay, we say police to aise hi hota hai. Some of the slang word is used for the police. Okay, so if we started doing same with the CBI, even let common people left apart, even sometimes Supreme Court or higher court has said that CBI is the parrot of government. तोता है CBI, जो है क्या है, government का तोता है. So if such remarks is there for CBI, and if state one by one is removing general consent for CBI, it is really a sad affair for a constitutional authority. Although there are every coin has two sides. One side, if government is saying that we are doing our duty or they are doing our duty, they are independently inquiring and they are prosecuting the those who are the culprit, they are prosecuting them. The same time, opposition is saying it is a targeted approach towards the opposition leader, to defeat the opposition leader. I hope you might have heard the MK Stalin, the chief minister of Tamil Nadu, who had just after the arrest just given a brief press conference, and he has told that कि मुझे चैलेंज मत करो, अगर मैं अपने पे आ गया तो बहुत कुछ कर सकता हूं. तो it's something like a war between central state. I hope as a polity student or the student of UPSC, we do not want that. Okay, so this is a general consent for CBI. I will read certain in detail there. Sealing on wheat stock. Okay, what does sealing mean? That putting a cap. A simple language in English, we call it a putting a cap. अगर हम किसी चीज के ऊपर कोई प्रतिबंध लगाते हैं तो we call it a sealing. Why we generally do sealing on any product like you can say wheat or onion? We generally do if the prices is on rocket high. Prices अगर बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है तो अब इस पे हम sealing लगाते हैं. So currently a selling has been put on wheat as its prices has been increased, and there are many reasons why prices has been increased that will read in detail. Next is limit on UPI transaction. I am pretty sure that whosoever in the sessions they are using a UPI, and it is very high. Okay, every day almost lakhs and lakhs of people are using this UPI facility. So government is trying to put a cap over this, and so bank also from their side, bank and other UPI vendor, they are trying to put a cap, and they have different caps. So that we will read in this. Next is Finance Commission. Again, one of the constitutional authority under Article 280. Hope you have read in polity in details about Finance Commission. We will read certain details about it, that the government is going to appoint new Finance Commission, and that will read in that. Okay, next is 80 caste to be added in central OBC list, other backward caste. So that will read it, who is responsible for adding in the list and who approved that list. So that will read in the last topic. So these are the 5, 6, 7 topics which are going to cover today. And based on these topics and some of more topics, we are going to cover some of the MCQ as well as mains questions of today. So let's start today's sessions for current affairs. The first topic is transgenic cotton. As I have already said that India had already developed a genetically modified cottons, and they are you can say yielding that genetically modified cotton. But recently, Ahmedabad based company has developed a new cotton, new variety of that containing Cry2AI gene. So this is the name of modified gene. The name is Cry2AI. It is the name of modified gene, and it is resistant to pink bollworm. What is pink bollworm? It is a type of insect. You can search in the net. ठीक है, एक पिंक कलर का कीड़ा होता है, ये इंसेक्ट होता है. सो जो पहले जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड क्रॉप था या कॉटन था, that is impacted by this pink bollworm. So now the new variety which has been developed, that is Cry2AI gene, it will be resistant to pink bollworm. तो इससे क्या होगा? It will help to grow more cotton as it is resistant to pink bollworm, and it will preserve cotton from this bollworm. Okay, इस insect से जो है cotton को बचाएगा. But अभी इसमें challenges है. There are challenges. Some of the state is still not ready to adopt that. So that is written in the next line. However, the state of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Telangana have deferred the proposal, delaying the testing of the transgenic cotton seed. So they are not adopting that. You might be aware that agriculture is a state subject. So if agriculture is a state subject, and if the state is denying that, maybe due to farmer issue and all, if a state is saying that this variety of cotton or this GM cotton I am not going to use or I am not going to test, in that case, central government cannot force them. So that's a you can say challenges coming in transgenic cotton. Okay, this conflict highlights the ongoing challenges on achieving broad acceptance of genetically modified crops in India. So it is our aim that we are going to adopt more and more crops for genetically modified. I have already said that mustard, brinjal, these are in the pipeline, which is going to be genetically modified and which is going to be used. देखो जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड करने का मेन रीजन क्या है? द मेन रीजन बीइंग इज टू ऐसा कोई क्रॉप बनाया जाए या ऐसा कोई सीड बनाया जाए which is resistant to insect and other you can say that fertilizers we use in the food, so that they can be resistant to that. So we central government is putting effort, but some state government have their own problem, as well as some state government deliberately trying to delay this project. Okay, so that's the case of just through a graphics it has been shown to you what is GM crop, a crop which has genetically artificially inserted into another species, even unrelated, to give it to some desired property. GM crops are mostly either pest resistant or herbicide tolerant. So that's what the point I was focusing that. I was trying to focus that ये जो होता है ये herbicide resistance होता है, जो हम कीटनाशक वगैरह यूज करते हैं पौधों को, उसके लिए resistant होता है. It is going to yield more and more crops if we using this type of genetically modified crop. Are the other GM crops in India? Till date, no, the government has not approved. अभी तक कोई और apart from cotton कोई और genetically modified crop approved नहीं किया गया है government से. So be clear on this. If MCQ it is asked that any other crop, no. Yeah, some of the in the pipeline, so that we are going to discuss the some of the crop in the pipeline. Status of in India, cotton is the only transgenic crop currently being commercially cultivated. Other crops such as brinjal, tomato, maize, chickpea and mustard, these are the some which is in the pipeline. in year or two, you can say that they can be genetically modified or can be grown in India. Okay. GM mustard had received the clearance from the GEAC. This is the authority who generally gave the clearance, but faced additional test and hearing it is still ongoing. So abhi mustard ko bhi puri tarah se nahi mila hai. However, there is an ongoing legal dispute in Supreme Court regarding mustard. Okay. So just the point I am trying to focus that only genetically modified crop which have been given permission to commercially yield, that is cotton. Other are in pipeline, that is mustard, brinjal, tomato, maize, and you can say that. But right now we have only one crop. Why we are growing genetically modified crop? So that it can be resistant to herbicides and pesticides. The second point. Third point, a new variety of genetically modified crop for the cotton has been developed, that is CRY 2AI, and some of the state is still not testing that, but it is resistant to pink oilworm, and so it will add more variety of cotton. So further we are going to see more variety of genetically modified cotton. So that's why it is in the news. Challenges and controversy. Broad acceptance of genetically modified crop continue to be elusive in India. Why? जैसे हम कहते हैं ना, कई बार पुलिस एक्शन लेती है तो ह्यूमन राइट कमीशन आ जाती है. So there are some of the environment commission and all. तो जो environment commission है, जो ecologic sensitive लोग हैं, they are opposing to this step because they are saying that हमारा जो ecology system है, ecosystem है, that will get disturbed. So our ecosystem will get disturbed as these are genetically modified, not the natural one. अगर वो नेचुरल वन नहीं होगा, जेनेटिकली मॉडिफाइड होगा, तो इट इज गोइंग टू कॉज हार्म टू एनवायरनमेंट अ लिटिल बिट वी कैन से. तो नेचुरल इकोसिस्टम और स्पीसीज डाइवर्सिटी को ये खत्म करेगा. Although many developed, you can say that the state is already trying that, like USA, Brazil, and they are way ahead in India in yielding, you can say, this genetically modified crop. Okay. So these are the news. You can read in detail. Okay, but this is the authority. This is the organization who gave approval for the any genetically modified crop. We called it as GAAC. Coming to the next topic, as I have already discussed about this a little bit when I was discussing an introduction part, that general consent has been removed from the CBI. Although you can say that less important, but very good topics in sense of polity, we can say. When we talk of center-state relation, in one word we call it as a federal structure. So the basic essence of democracy is a federal structure. So if a general consent is removed from CBI, the basic essence of democracy, that is federal structure, is going to be get defeated. Okay. These are the central agency, we agree, ED and CBI, but they have a high reputations. Okay, and if they pretend themselves, or if some of the constitutional authority think that they are the parrot in the hand of central government, like we have discussed in the case of governor, they are also highly decorated constitutional authority, but they work on the behest of central government. In such cases, they forget about the person who is sitting on that chair. The chair get you can say derogatory remarks or something like that, which is not good. Because a governor chair is very respectful chair, a president chair is very respectful chair. If you would have remembered during the ongoing, that is parliament, new parliament building inauguration, there are a lot of questions that why president has not been invited. So if we are questioning the constitutional authority, there has to be something which we have to do to save the democracy. अगर आपने देखा होगा तो G20 poster which is all over Delhi and other cities, what we say India is a mother of democracy. So when we claim ourselves as a mother of democracy, and in the same mother of democracy, the state is opposing a central reputation or central agency to enter its own state. Removing general consent का क्या होता है? आप मेरे घर नहीं घुस सकते हैं, ठीक है? अगर मैंने आपको जनरल कंसर्ट अपने घर में घुसने का नहीं दिया, तो that simple means that you cannot enter in my house. So it's a really very sad state of affair where a central agency has been debarred, or you can say has been banned to enter in a state. And it is not one state has done this. It is around 10 to 12 states which has been done. I think there are names written here. Yes, several other states including Mizoram. Might be heard about. Manipur is burning, northeastern, one of the northeastern, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Kerala, Jharkhand, Punjab, Meghalaya already withdrawn their general consent. You can add Tamil Nadu in the list. Okay, so you can say that 10 to 12 agencies are saying that central government agencies are not welcome in our state. So this is really a state of affair. The DMK-led government in Tamil Nadu announced the withdrawal of general consent given to the Central Bureau of Investigation (CBI) for in the state under the Delhi Special Establishment Act. CBI का जो formation हुआ था, CBI has been formed by Delhi Police Establishment Act. जो दिल्ली पुलिस के अच्छे ऑफिसर्स होते हैं, दे आर रिक्रूटेड इन द सीबीआई. तो उसी एक्ट के साथ ये बना था. एंड इट इज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनली मैंडेटरी फॉर देम टू टेक परमिशंस फ्रॉम स्टेट गवर्नमेंट बिफोर एंटरिंग एनी स्टेट. Okay, so now CBI cannot directly investigate in the name of those state which I have read just before. So in सारे state में CBI cannot directly investigate. He has to, or CBI has to take permission from the state authorities before entering any before taking any case of these states. So this is you can say if we say in a broader sense, if we say, we can say that yes, since CBI is doing its duty properly, so that why state is stopping them. Why? But the most of the state I have read is the opposition state, and even some of the data is saying that from last 5 to 6 years, 97% cases you can say raised by CBI is for the opposition leader. Similar data is for the ED. तो क्या है ऐसा कि जो पार्टी इन पावर उसके सारे लीडर धुले हुए हैं या वो रीन की सफाई से हैं, उनमें चले गए तो धुले हुए हैं. So we have to look into the area also. We are not here to question the government, but when we are reading any topic, we have to think that yes, although government has every right to check the corruption and every right to punish the culprit, but in doing so, if the diminishing of the constitutional authority like CBI, governor, recently you might have heard related news from Tamil Nadu only. What did Governor Ravi Kumar do? Ravi Kumar is a governor of Tamil Nadu, honorable governor Tamil Nadu. And once this person arrested, the finance minister of the Tamil Nadu was arrested, he released a letter and he said that he is no more minister. And the basic principle of political science, what it say, you might have heard in Lakshmikant, that council of minister is responsible for appointment. He is only responsible for the suggestion to governor that who will be the minister and who will not be the minister. It is not the governor who will decide कि कौन minister रहेगा, कौन नहीं रहेगा. And according to People of Representation Act, that is 8 People of Representation Act, there is no such rules that if any person has been arrested, he should be removed from the ministry. If you remember, if you are in, following the news of Delhi, even in case of Delhi also, 2 ministers has been arrested. That is Satyendra Jain, then you can say electricity minister, Bijli department, and Manish Sisodia, deputy chief minister of Delhi. Both has been arrested, and both were continued to be the minister until the Kejriwal government or until the chief minister of Delhi has taken call that we will appoint a new minister. But in case of Tamil Nadu, governor himself, without consulting the you can say chief minister, has released a letter saying that the person has been arrested and he has a grave charge over him, so he is removed from the ministry. This a governor cannot do, or cannot do of his own. वो अपने आप से तो नहीं करेगा. He might have got instruction from somewhere and he has done this. Okay, so this is really said what we are talking about, not this small point that the state and center is fighting. We are talking in larger sense, that is the basic essence of democracy, that is People of Representation Act. We are talking about federal structure. So these 3 things, the People of Representation Act, we have to follow. We have to follow the federal structure and we have to follow the democracy. So in such case, if the case of this, you can say B. Senthil Balaji. Okay, sorry, I have using word finance minister, electricity minister, state electricity. He is not finance minister, electricity minister of Tamil Nadu has been arrested. So this you have to keep in mind. Okay, next, what is general consent? I have already explained. The Central Bureau of Investigation is an independent body regulated by Delhi Special Police Establishment Act of 1946. This law mandates to attain state government consent. So this is the point which you have to focus. कि इसमें मैंडेटरी किया गया है कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का कंसर्न लेना जरूरी है बिफोर एंटरिंग इनटू द स्टेट. ओके, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कंसर्न कैन बी आइदर जनरल और केस स्पेसिफिक. So they can take a general consent. If suppose a state is not removing general consent, then the CBI can directly take any case. Okay. And if state, it can be case specific also. So हाँ, ये केस हमने सीबीआई को सौंपा है. सपोज सुशांत सिंह राजपूत का केस मुंबई ने सीबीआई को सौंपा था. So it can be case specific or it can be a general consent. State provide a general consent for an impeccable CBI investigation of corruption cases against the central government employee in its territory. In case of absence of general consent, the CBI must ask for case-specific consent before taking each action and even smallest one. तो अगर जनरल कंसेंट रिमूव हो गया है तो हर केस के पहले सीबीआई को परमिशन लेना पड़ेगा, चाहे वो केस कितना भी स्मॉल हो, वेदर इट केस स्मॉल केस और अ बिगर केस. In any cases, CBI has to take permissions from central government before prosecuting the culprit. Okay, so this was in the news, you can say. Although this topic is, if we talk about current affair, it is a simple topic that general consent of the CBI has been removed. But if we talk about UPSC point of view, so many questions can be asked here. Question can be asked over federal structure. Question can be asked on the role of constitutional authority. Question can be asked over CBI independency. Question can be asked on the Supreme Court comment over CBI. So many questions can be asked on this simple topic. Although the topic which we are going to, which we are reading today, is a simple that general consent of a CBI is removed. And what is general consent? It's simple कि आपके घर में कोई आ रहा है, आपने उनको परमिशन नहीं दिया. So topic is very simple, but lots of question can be asked here. Okay, Section 6 of the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act defines the state general consent, and Section 5 of this act does not empower DSP members to build jurisdictions in any area of the state without its consent. So you can, if you want to remember the exact act, then it is written here so that you can read. After we will forward this PDF to you. This disables CBI will file any new case against any central government employee or private person without state permission. Okay, so this is the news, you can read in detail. Moving to the next topic, that is ceiling on wheat stock. If the price of any commodity get increases or high rocketed, then at that time it is the duty of government to maintain the balance. How to maintain the balance? There are only two ways to maintain the balance. First one is to increase the production, and second one is to check the hoarding. कई बार क्या होता है, जो दलाल होते हैं, जो बीच के लोग होते हैं, they start hoarding the product so that they can sell at a good price. So it is the responsibility of government to check hoarding and other malpractices so that product can be available in the market and price can be regulated. Since the price of wheat is increasing, if you might remember that, although I'm not talking about India, in Pakistan the जो wheat का price था बहुत ज्यादा increase हुआ था, and there are some of the videos जाके ये दिखाया जा रहा था कि वो नहीं खरीद पा रहे थे wheat. So in India, it's not not the situation, but we have to control. So the union government imposed limit on stock of the wheat. क्या limit impose किया गया है वो यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. Trader and wholesaler permissible stock limit is 3000 metric ton. For retailer, the permissible limit is 10 metric ton, while all deposit combined can have to 3000 metric ton. And for processor allowed only 75 of their annual stock capacity. तो ये तीन कैटेगरी, आपको डेटा याद नहीं करना, you not remember the data, you just need to understand कि हम सीलिंग कब लगाते हैं. Declaration and compliances, entities must declare their stock positions and update them regularly on the Department of Food and Public Distribution per portal. If stock holding exceed the prescribed limit, entity have 30 days from notification date to bring them under the limit. So these are the some condition has been put over the you can say the व्यापारी के ऊपर कुछ conditions रखे गए हैं जो कि wheat की ये करते हैं. Offloading the wheat from central pool, 15 lakh ton of wheat will be offloaded from the central pool through open market sale scheme via e-auction. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? What I have said in the beginning only कि अगर if the price of a commodity increases, there are only two steps to check the hoarding, and the second step is to flood the market with that product. Once the market will have the same product, the price will automatically get down. अगर कोई चीज का सप्लाई ज्यादा है तो डिमांड थोड़ी कम हो जाएगी. डिमांड अगर ज्यादा है तो आपको सप्लाई तो करनी पड़ेगी. A simple basic principle is that. So the first principle is government is checking the hoarding, and second government is putting wheat in the market. Wheat will be sold at the floor mills, private traders and bulk buyer. First wheat will be sold in the lot of size 10 to 100 metric ton. क्यों wheat का प्राइस क्यों इंक्रीज हो रहा है? The question is why the price of wheat is increasing. Major wheat producer as a Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and they are facing a thunderstorm. Okay, so there you can say the product is getting destroyed due to this thunderstorm and wind, and the which stand potential affect the upcoming El Nino. And also we are going to face this year El Nino. If you remember, in one of the class I have already discussed about La Nina and El Nino. If there is a El Nino, it will be a dry weather for India. So you can read in, if someone have not understood El Nino and La Nina, you can visit the previous video or read in detail. That will be discussed. That might have been discussed in your geography class. But it will affect the dry weather in India, and so due to that also the price of wheat and rice going to be increased. As the year 2030 has been expected to be an El Nino year, there may be a chances of drought and reduced rainfall affecting agriculture in India. So whenever there is a La Nina, it is a good for India. Whenever it is El Nino, it is a bad for India. So that also you can remember in your mind. Concern and background: potential impact on wheat output, concern about the lower wheat production due to unseasonal rain, hailstorm, and hotter temperature. Higher prices, lower production leads to higher prices and potentially exceeding the government purchase prices. So ye bhi ho raha hai. Simple point what we are going to discuss today is that since this year is going to be the year of El Nino for India, so there are chances of the basic commodity like rice, beans, mustard is going to be increased. Reason being that the most producing state like Punjab, Haryana and all facing thunderstorm, and due to that this state, this product, the commodity is affecting and its price is increasing. Although government is trying their best by increasing the product in the market and by offloading the product in the market, point one, and putting a ceiling on the you can say hoarding. So these are the steps which you are going to read. So you can read in detail so that you can write questions. Okay. Next is a very small topic, that is limit on UPI transaction. Hope you all might be using this UPI, or it is a game changing. पहले हमें कैश लेके घूमना पड़ता था, अब we can pay through mobile at any places. With record rise in unified payment interface transaction, bank and UPI apps have decided to impose a daily limit on UPI transaction. और हर एक बैंक का और हर एक UPI ऐप का जो है अपना अपना लिमिट है. It is not like कि एक regulatory limit है. One limit has been put by the government, and now a separate limit has been going to be put by the different interfaces. This is the NPCI is the major authority through which you make the payment. National Payment Corporation of India imposed initial ceiling on UPI transaction in 2021. So NPCI has imposed the ceiling, and that ceiling is that 20 transactions or 1 lakh in a single day. So it was imposed by NPCI. Now after this, there are several banks which is going to impose their own restriction. Like for example, Punjab National Bank and Bank of Baroda have set lower limit at 25,000 and 50,000 respectively. That is for Punjab National it is 25,000 and for Bank of Baroda it is 50,000. Similarly, whosoever is using different bank like HDFC, Axis, so they have a different limit. So that they are going to put. So इस topic में कोई खास नहीं है, but you have to remember this only, that government is authorized a bank and other UPI partner. ठीक है, अश्नीत ग्रोवर का नाम सबने सुना होगा. So जो बैंक UPI के लिए famous. So they are going to put some limitations, and इसके कुछ benefits हैं. Some of the benefits of this, that is security purpose. It will enhance the security. Suppose आपका data किसी गलत हाथ में लग गया, तो अगर आपके अकाउंट में 1 करोड़ रुपया है, तो they can transfer few amounts only. पर वही बात है कि मैक्सिमम इंडियन के अकाउंट में उतना होता ही नहीं है, जो लिमिट है उतने में तो भेज ही लेगा. So that's the case. But yes, if some of for the security purpose we can say that yes, if the limit is lowered, then if some fraud is there, then at that time he can only withdraw minimum limit. There are smooth functioning since the load on the server is very high, because every day lakhs and lakhs of people are using UPI, so loads on the server is very high. In such cases, this smooth functioning is needed. Fraud prevention. Okay, if someone is mistakenly using your UPI, then you can check that. Balance, convenience and risks, and category specific limit. So these are the some of the challenges. What is NPCI? It is the National Payment Corporation of India. It is an umbrella organization for operating retail payment and settlement system in India. It was established as a joint initiative of Reserve Bank of India and Indian Bank Association (IBA). NPCI operates as a not-for-profit company under the provision of Section 25th of Companies Act. So you can read about NPCI. It is the only nodal authority for the payment in India. Coming to the Finance Commission, in the Article 280, this Finance Commission established, it is a constitutional authority, you can say, and it is the agency which you can say define that who will collect the tax, who will distribute the tax, and who will utilize the tax. That is between center and state. यानी कि केंद्र या सेंटर कितना टैक्स कलेक्ट करेगा, उसमें से कितना परसेंट हिस्सा जो है वो स्टेट के पास जाएगा और कितना परसेंट हिस्सा जो है सेंटर यूज करेगा. So this is the role of Finance Commission, that is distribution of revenue, we can say. Okay, although it is an advisory body, it just advise the government. It's depend on government to follow that or not. We generally say Finance Commission as a toothless tiger, which have a power, but the power is just a advisory like CAG and all. Okay, the government will appoint a Finance Commission in the next few months to determine how much of the central tax revenue should be given away to state and how to distribute that among the state. अब ये क्यों point हो रहा है? Try to understand. Although topic looks again very common, but why we are reading that? You know that there is a culture of freebie in India. Okay, every state is doing that. Madhya Pradesh लाडली बेटी योजना, अभी कर्नाटका का इलेक्शन हुआ है, there are lots of freebies given. Even in Delhi we have a free electricity, we have a free pani and all. So all this center is saying that state is you can say not utilizing the properly allotted budget, they are using it in freebie, or center has lot of debt. Okay, so sorry, state has lot of debt. तो सेंटर का क्या कहना है कि जो बजट हम एलोकेट कर रहे हैं या जो रेवेन्यू हम एलोकेट कर रहे हैं स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को, दे आर नॉट प्रॉपरली यूटिलाइजिंग दैट, दे आर यूजिंग इट फॉर द freebie purpose and other lucrative schemes that is they are using for during the poll day, like Rajasthan government, as Rajasthan में poll होने वाला है कुछ दिन में, तो so they are right now using that. So due to that, government is trying to set up a panel of Finance Commission which will be going to, or which will be looking into that how many budget is going to be allocated from the center fund or from the tax collection to the state. Although there is a state rules from before also, but the new commission will further look into that. Okay. And you know that, or you might have heard in center-state relation that financial power between center and state, most of the power lie with the center government. Even GST, that on which product, how much GST should be levied. So that is, you can say that it is lie with the center government. Although the sum of the product which still have a VAT, that is value-added tax, it is with the state government. So VAT is applied by the state government, but GST and all, although there is a meeting of GST and the state council also sit in that meeting, but again opposition is complaining that the central government is not listening to their Finance Commission, or they are not listening to their suggestion while implementing the GST. But VAT is a state subject, the state can implement the VAT. Okay, recently you can say on the petrol, VAT has been increased by the Punjab government. Just for the example I am correlating many state government, so VAT is a state subject. So Finance Commission is a constitutional body for the purpose of allocation of certain revenue resource between the union and the state government. It was established under Article 280 of the Indian Constitution by the Indian President, and it was created to define the financial relation between center and state. So very simple, Finance Commission है क्या? सेंटर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के बीच में एक नोडल एजेंसी है जो कि रेवेन्यू का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करता है आर्टिकल 280 के अंदर. इसके अलावा क्या है, इसको हम टू पार्ट में बांटते हैं, एक है प्री रिफॉर्म पीरियड, एक है पोस्ट रिफॉर्म पीरियड. फाइनेंस कमीशन रिकमेंडेशन वेयर लेस क्रिटिकल ड्यू टू अल्टरनेटिव कंपल्सरी मेजर एंड सेंट्रल थ्रू प्लान एंड पीएसयू इन्वेस्टमेंट. तो जब इंडिया में प्लानिंग कमीशन था, व्हेन इंडिया वे आर हैविंग अ प्लानिंग कमीशन, एट दैट टाइम Finance Commission role were limited, as Planning Commission used to decide that how many fund will be allocated and how state will utilize that fund. Okay, once that Planning Commission has been abolished and there is a Niti Aayog, the role of Finance Commission increased, and with abolition of Planning Commission, reduced PSU investment, the Finance Commission has become primarily architect of India's fiscal federalism and horizontal distribution of a formula. The center currently allocates 41% of its tax pool to the state, and debate revolves around whether this proportion should be increased considering the central expedition needs and borrowing and constraint. contentions issues include the use of 2011 population figures instead of 1970 figure for determination of expenditure and distribution of revenue deficit grant. तो यहाँ पे क्या बताया जा रहा है? We are going to we have read 3 points. The first point, it is stating that the center is distributing revenue to the state on the basis of 1971 population, which should be done on the 2011 population. The first point is this. Second point, it is written that only 41% is given to the state. At least it should be 50-50. So that's again a point. Third point is that since the state government is using so much freebies and all, so it should be reformed, and it should be a new method that how much amount should be distributed to the state. Okay. Finance Commission struggle to determine how much a state deficit is due to fiscal incapacity or irresponsibility. So दो वर्ड यहाँ पे यूज किया गया है. एक है फिस्कल इनकैपेसिटी. जैसे बिहार है, उसके पास वापस आने का पैसा का कोई साधन ही नहीं है ना, वो सब ना तो उसके पास इंडस्ट्रीज है ना रोजगार है, तो हाउ विल दे कलेक्ट द फिस्कल? तो फिस्कल इनकैपेसिटी एंड सेकंड इज इररिस्पांसिबिलिटी. इफ स्टेट इज वेल इनफ, दे हैव एवरीथिंग एंड स्टिल दे आर डूइंग इन अ डेब्ट. अगर उसके पास कह सकते हैं आप इंडस्ट्री भी है, नेचुरल रिसोर्स भी है, स्टिल दैट स्टेट इन अ डेब्ट, so we call it as an irresponsible state. So these are the two reasons, because due to that Finance Commission is finding hard to distribute the revenue. Okay. Designing a distribution formula that support deficit state without penalizing the responsible state, mathematically challenging. Again, some of the states are really poor. Okay. It's not they are responsible, that it's history that is responsible for this. Okay. They do not have proper irrigation facility. They might not have proper natural resources at all. So that state need to be allocated more, and some of the state has a surplus. So that state has to be allocated less. So it's a really mathematically challenging. कैसे ये गुना भाग करें, किसको कितना मिलना चाहिए? So it's a mathematical challenge for Finance Commission. Although the new Finance Commission which is going to be set up, they might be looking to this better way. Fault line between states have depend along political and economic and fiscal dimension, particularly between northern and southern state, and the gap is increasing because this economic division is not only based on economic condition, this is based on political condition as well. I hope in the same class I have someday said that कि अभी बिहार में इलेक्शन होगा तो वहां मोदी जी जाकर करेंगे, हम आपको 2000 करोड़ का पैकेज देंगे. जब वही इलेक्शन राजस्थान में होगा तो वही मोदी जी का पैकेज जो है राजस्थान को चला जाएगा. सो ये नहीं देखा गया कि बिहार सच में पुअर है या कोई राजस्थान सच में डेवलप्ड है. ठीक है, वो किसके हिसाब से देखा गया? पॉलिटिकल. सो इफ अ इकोनॉमिक डिसीजन इज टेकन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ पॉलिटिकल, then obviously that would be a challenge. Okay, for a finance commission or the learned people in the finance commission, they can take the decision, but ultimately the final call would be of the government. So if government is taking economical decision on the basis of political scenario, so that would be always a challenging condition. Okay, the central increasing reliance on the cases on the surcharge, center also collect the surcharge. Taxes has become a concern. This practice allows center to retain the entire amount raised without sharing with the state. So surcharge and other different charges which is levied by the center, the complete is taken by the center only. It is not given to the state. So you can read in detail. Okay. Now coming to the next topic, that is 80 castes to be added in a central OBC list. Okay, there is an organization which we call NCBC, National Commissions for Backward Caste, and they are responsible for recommendation to the government or minister regarding adding of any new caste to the OBC. You might be aware that why the important is adding in the caste in OBC. If you remember in the previous session, I have said you that the whole Manipur issue is related to that only, because in the Manipur there is a tribe, Methi tribe, and Methi tribes wants to be in the ST category, scheduled tribe category, and almost government has given approval, or government has said that we will add them in ST category. But since they are already in majority, and if they get ST status, they will be going to get more privilege. So it is again the other smaller community is going to fighting against them, and that's why Manipur is burning. Okay, so it's always you can say the benefit of adding in the OBC list or benefit of adding in the ST list is a extra benefit which they get. Okay, अगर आप शेड्यूल कास्ट ट्राइब में है, शेड्यूल ट्राइब में है या ओबीसी लिस्ट में है, तो so there are so many extra benefit you are going to get. According to, if you have read about fundamental right, the two articles specifically about them is 15.4 and 16 clause 4, which is related to the benefits of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, whether there are given extra benefit in education, मतलब अलग से रिजर्वेशन होता है उनके लिए एजुकेशन में, and they are given reservation in the job as well as promotion. So ये उनको benefits मिलता है. If we talk about backward class, it is the responsibility of the you can say this NCBC to recommend the name to the president, or you can say the ministry, and they appoint, if they give green signal, then that caste is added in the OBC list. And time and again we should evaluate that also, that which caste should be added in OBC list or which not. So that they are doing that. Okay. If we talk about scheduled tribe and scheduled caste, by 102nd amendment, it is the right of president. It is president who decide that which caste should be added into scheduled tribe or scheduled caste or not. Where in case of OBC, it is the role of their organization itself, not the role of president. Okay. Community to be added. The community being considered addition to the central OBC list are from the states such as Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab, and Haryana. So from these states, 80 castes to be added in the OBC list. Requests have been made by the state government to include a specific communities such as Turup Kapu from Andhra Pradesh, Majra from Himachal Pradesh. This name you have to remember for prelims purpose. Lodhi and Lingayat, Boyar Pawar and Jhanse from Maharashtra, Yadav from Punjab, and Ghosai and Goshen from Haryana. So these are the lists which you have to remember, because when MCQ is asked, they can ask you that which of the 80 castes, which are among the following from the 80 caste list, which is to be added in the OBC category. The NCBC, as per the NCBC Act 90, is responsible for examining the proposal to add communities to the center OBC list, which I have already said that NCBC वो नोडल एजेंसी है जो कि बताता है कि कौन सा कास्ट ओबीसी में ऐड होगा, कौन सा नहीं होगा. The panel evaluates the request and makes decisions and send recommendations to the cabinet for the approval. So it is the NCBC panel which evaluate the which caste to be added, and they send their recommendation to the ministry. Procedure for addition: the addition is community to the central OBC list require approval from the cabinet and subsequent legislation. The president then notify the change in the list. The final decision is of the president only, but in this case the role of NCBC is always higher. But in case of SC/ST, it's the president who by 102nd amendment the power is given to the president. Okay, so some of the basic fact has been given here. Article 15(4) and 16(4) make special provision for socially educationally backward classes for citizens popularly known as OBC and the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe ST. Okay, the Constitution 102nd amendment, it granted constitutional status to National Commission for Backward Classes, और इसको जो ऐड किया गया वो 338 के बी में ऐड किया गया. So national backward classes has been added in 338B article by 102nd amendment. 102nd amendment, there are various things over 102nd amendment. I would advise that when you go after the session, just read about 102nd amendment. It is all related to SC, ST, OBC and all. So just you can take it as a homework and note down your point that what is 102nd amendment and what are the changes after 102nd amendment in SC, ST, OBC and all. Okay. Article 342A, which deals with the power of president to notify a particular caste as SCBC and power of parliament to change the list. So president have empowers by 102nd amendment that he can directly add any caste to the list. Okay. Existing OBC list, the center OBC list currently include 2650 community from all state union territory with 16 community added since 2014. So by if this 80 is added, so you can add 80 in this. The union government has emphasized its commitment to maintaining state OBC list, preserving the benefit of 661 state OBC community, thought 105th amendment of the Constitution. This also you can read by yourself what is 105th amendment. Changes in the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe list. Since 2011 census, 4 community have been added in the SC list and 40 have been added in the sub entry. These are the some facts which I am going reading plain, just reading it, because you have to remember this, that how many castes is included in OBC list, how many castes is included in SC list, because it can be one of the option. And if you see the prelims question this year, they are going to only 3, only 1, only 2. In such case, you have to remember all the option, or you might need some of the fact also to make a correct answer or make a correct question in the MCQ part. So this point you have to remember, that how many caste has been added, how many caste going to be added, what is the final tally and all. Unlike addition to SC/ST list, addition of central OBC list do not require the concurrence of office of the registrar, which I have already discussed. For the this OBC list, this authority is final, NCBC, but in case of ST list, this office of registrar of the president has to be approved. Okay, so this is the case. So that's all in the today's news. 5, 6, 7 news we have covered. Let's come to the some of the MCQ which have today on the best of the news, and which we could not cover in the form of news. We are going to cover in the MCQ segment. Okay. So first is, with reference to Indian economy, consider the following statement. A Goldilocks scenario for an economy refers to the point where it is running too cold, referring to a faltering GDP growth. No. If someone might have heard about Goldilocks, it is a story of a child which you might have heard in class 9th or 10th in literature book, and it is related to neither too hot, neither too cold. That is, a GDP is running very smoothly. बहुत गिरा भी नहीं है, बहुत ज़्यादा भी नहीं है. तो यहाँ it is mentioning that it is remaining too cold. So it is wrong. It is wrong because Goldilocks is a situation जहाँ पे वो चाइल्ड जाता है एक बियर के पास, और वो एक मतलब एक स्टोरी है that you can read from your own. But the point is, Goldilocks is a scenario where GDP is going normal and smooth. It is neither too high nor too low. Okay, the repo rate is nothing but the interest rate that RBI levies when it lends money to the bank. Very correct. So two only question is asked which are not correct. So if it is not correct is asked, so first one is incorrect. So the only one is not correct. Second one is correct. So the option, the one only will be. So this also you have to see. कई बार क्या होता है, आप कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं, आपने पूरा क्वेश्चन नहीं पढ़ा. जैसे अभी मुझे लगा ये सही है, but just when I see the question it is written which are not correct. So not correct कौन है? One. So not correct one, the answer will be A. With reference to interlocking system, you might have heard about this. Just write 2-3 days, you can say 1 week before, that Odisha train student. So it is related to that only. So with reference to interlocking system in Indian Railways, consider the following statement. It is a crucial safety mechanism that ensures train movement continue without any conflict and prevent accident. Right? It works only on track occupancy sensing device. No, it has a 3 step that I'll tell. The interface of the interlocking system has a no. It is a digital screen. So again, second and third is wrong. So question is, how many of them statement are correct? Only one is correct. Okay. Here you can say there are 3 main components of the interlocking system: point, track occupancy, and a sensing device and a signal. The interlocking system coordinates the function of all 3, and then only it works. So you can read that is there. With reference to microplastic, consider the following statement. They are defined as a plastic less than 10 millimeter. No, it is wrong. It is 5. Secondly, macroplastic are particles that are product of breakdown of larger particle items. Yeah, macro is the product of breakdown of here. So second one is the right one. With reference to prepaid payment instrument, PPI, consider the following statement. These are the instruments that facilitate the purchase of goods and services and conduct of financial services, enable remittance facility. PPIs can be issued as cards or wallet. The cash loading PPI limited is 5 lakh. It is 50,000. PPI can be issued by bank, non-bank after obtaining the approval from the RBI. Yes, right. So how many of the statement is the correct one? It is asking. So only 3 means this one is incorrect about PPI. Okay. Baki rest is correct. The RBI committee has recommended to authorize number of banks and non-bank entity to issue prepaid payment instrument. अभी पोस्ट पे पेटीएम का आ गया है, where they are giving 2 lakhs, around 2 lakhs limit for this prepaid payment instrument. It's just same like you have been given just a credit card like system. Consider the following statement about first loss default guarantee. It is arrangement where a third party such as finance fintech player compensate the lender if borrower default. इसमें क्या होता है कि गारंटी लेता है जो फिनटेक प्लेयर होता है कि अगर आपको लॉस हुआ तो वी विल रिपे दैट लॉस, पहला लॉस रिपे करेंगे. तो फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. The Reserve Bank of India has allowed default loss guarantee in digital lending. So both is the correct one. Consider the following statement about appropriation bill. I hope you might have aware about appropriation bill. होता क्या है, जब बजट आता है, there are several steps which include budget. सबसे पहले जो होता है बजट के, आई होप यू रिमेंबर द स्टेप. प्रेसिडेंट एड्रेस द बोथ द हाउसेस, प्रेसिडेंट एड्रेस हम बोल सकते हैं. देन you can say there is a budget is tabled and lot of discussion and all goes between the members of the team. Then budget goes for 3 to 4 months. It goes to the committee for the discussion कि गवर्नमेंट ने जितना प्रपोजल दिया वो सही है या गलत है. तो पहला जो होता है 2-3 दिन का ये डिस्कशन होता है बजट टेबल होने के बाद. देन ये चला जाता है कमिटी के पास. आफ्टर कमिंग फ्रॉम द कमिटी द अप्रूवल इज टेकन 1 by 1. 1 month लगता है अप्रूवल लेने के लिए. गवर्नमेंट टेक द अप्रूवल 1 by 1. एंड फाइनली देयर इज अप्रोप्रिएशन बिल. मतलब आपने पैसा तो निकालना है, कहां से निकालना है? कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया. तो बजट का जो पैसा गवर्नमेंट निकालती है, दे टेक फ्रॉम कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया. बट फॉर टेकिंग द मनी आउट ऑफ दैट कंसोलिडेटेड फंड ऑफ इंडिया you have to pass the appropriation bill. So they meet the grant made by the House of the People. No amendment shall be proposed by any such bill. Okay, no money shall be withdrawn from the. Okay, I think all three are correct in this case. All three. Okay, so all three are correct. Appropriation bill you will read in detail in polity if you have not read. Which of the following articles of the Constitution of India deals with analogous power of the governor? About ordinance. I hope I have discussed it. It is 230. Article 123 is the power of president. It is power of president for the ordinance. I hope you remember what is ordinance. I have discussed in the previous class. Ordinance is the power of president or governor to pass any legislature if the house is not in the session. Because if any of the house is not in the session, and that has to be passed by the house within either that is 6 weeks or 6 months. मतलब 2 सेशन के बीच में 6 महीने का गैप होता है. अगर हाउस पहले बैठ गया तो आपको 6 वीक के अंदर पास कराना है ऑर्डिनेंस को. एंड इट इज एक्स्ट्रा पावर ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट एंड गवर्नर. सो इफ वी टॉक अबाउट प्रेसिडेंट इट इज अंडर आर्टिकल 123. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट गवर्नर इट इज अंडर आर्टिकल 213. कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग पेयर. ओके, सो ये मैच करने के लिए आपको ऐसा आ सकता है. इफ समवन वांट टू नोट इट डाउन, करेक्ट मैच क्या है? जब सिर्फ पहला वाला जो है वो करेक्ट मैच है. तो हियर इट इज रिटन टीटीकाका इन साउथ अमेरिका, सुपीरियर लेक इन नॉर्थ अमेरिका, नकारू इन अफ्रीका एंड बैकाल इन एशिया. सो इट इज अ करेक्ट मैच. तो आप वहां जाके देख सकते हैं कौन सा रॉन्गली मैच था. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट करेक्ट अबाउट थर्मोबैरिक वेपन? Thermobaric weapon क्या होता है? When thermobaric weapon is a type of a weapon. When it come in contact with air, it get blast, and there is a huge blast. It take help from oxygen to get blast. So that we call it as thermobaric. It is hydrogen from the hydrogen to take blast from the air for a large high temperature blast. It causes significant greater devastation for the conventional bomb of comparable size. It can fired as a rocket from tank, mounted launchers or dropped aircraft. These weapons are not prohibited by any international law or agreement. So answer will be only one, that is it uses hydrogen from the air for a large high temperature blast. तो हाइड्रोजन के एयर के कांटेक्ट आने से ये बहुत तगड़ा ब्लास्ट करता है. we can say like that. He held from yeah, this type of question can be asked, although we have not discussed this type of question previously, but you can read. आपको किसी मतलब कह सकते हैं कि from our forefathers or some constitutional expert or someone scholars, their जीवनी or their lifestyle will be given and you have to guess the name. So here it is, he hailed from Ratnagiri district, present day Maharashtra. So such type of question can be asked. And studied at the Elphinstone College in Mumbai before joining as a professor at the Ferguson College in Pune. And he cross-examined British colonial expenditure at the Welby Commission 1897 in England. And in 1889 he joined Indian National Congress, emerging as one of the main leader of moderate wing and become the Congress president at Banaras station. So who is that? It is Gopal Krishna Gokhale. So you can read something about Gopal Krishna Gokhale. We have also included some of the part, but you can read by your own. Solomon Island was recently in the news, located in South Pacific Ocean. Why it is in the news? Just now, America has set up an embassy in this on the South Pacific Ocean, and it is in the news because I have already talked about South China Sea and the you can say war between China and America over there. So China versus America, there is a, you can say, a supremacy war. It is like that. Okay. So recently, South Pacific Ocean, USA has set up a embassy there. United States opened an embassy in Solomon Island, and it is located in South Pacific Ocean. So that's why it is in the news. Which of the following is best described uniform civil code? I hope you are aware of this word uniform civil code, that is under article 44 of DPSP, डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी। तो आर्टिकल 44 ये कहता है कि इंडिया में जो सिविल लॉ है वो सभी स्टेट और सभी सेंटर के लिए बराबर होना चाहिए। राइट नाउ इट इज नॉट लाइक दैट, स्टेट हैव देयर ओन सिविल लॉ whereas center has where different states have their own civil law, कहीं एक जगह दारू बंद है कहीं नहीं है, so that's like that। सिविल लॉ के बारे में बात हो रहा है यहाँ पे। So the question is asked here that a code is regulated as criminal offense uniformly across the country, a code that governs civil law all citizens regardless of their, a code that ensure equal representation of all religion, a code that promotes religious diversity, about that। So the B part, a code that governs civil law uniformly for all citizens regardless of their religions and affiliation, so it is the right one। Which organization is responsible for the development and operation of unified payment interface? अभी हमने इसके बारे में पढ़ा, and the correct answer will be NPCI। NPCI के बारे में डिटेल हमने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर लिया है। Okay, so two of the men's question, Swami Vivekanand thought it is relevant in India as it was in past discussed। इस तरह का क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछा जा सकता है, काफी फिलोसफिकल क्वेश्चन है ये कि स्वामी विवेकानंद का थॉट जो है वो अभी भी जो है वो हमारे लिए कह सकते हैं कि इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसको आपको डिस्कस करना है अबाउट स्वामी विवेकानंद थॉट। इफ यू रिमेंबर दैट अवेक arise awake and not till the goal is achieved, तो हर आईएएस का वो थॉट होना चाहिए arise awake, जो विवेकानंद का थॉट है। जो कैन स्टार्ट विद दिस एंड राइट दिस आंसर, यू कैन सबमिट अस, वी विल टेक एंड गिव इट बैक टू यू कि कैसे इस तरह करेगा। नॉट टिल द गोल इज रीच्ड, so you can start with your thought from here and write about Swami Vivekanand। Second question is discuss the significance and challenges with implementation of uniform civil code। देखो यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड को what is the challenges we are facing in implementing this uniform civil code? Recently Law Commission of India, why it is in the news that I'm saying, recently Law Commission of India has said that had asked suggestion from people, that is from us, that please give us a suggestion about uniform civil code, whether it should be implemented or not, and it has given around 42 days time and they are taking suggestion from the people। So many states like Uttarakhand, in India right now we have only one state, that is Goa, which have uniform civil code। Okay, every means for them in Goa the law for Hindu and Muslim is same। Okay, so that we say that there is a uniform civil code in Goa। No other state have uniform civil code, although in the election time like Karnataka or even in case of Uttarakhand, BJP has promised that we will implement uniform civil code। Even in their central you can say promise, it is there that in India they will establish uniform civil code। Why it is a challenging? ये challenge क्यों है? Because minority is thinking that it is against them, although government is trying to just making a civil law equal for all, but minority is saying that they have a different code। Okay, like Hindu code for Hinduism, and for Muslim they have some Sharia law, and they follow that Sharia law। Okay, so these are the challenges। So we have to take all the stakeholders together and then we have to implement this uniform civil code। We cannot force that। Okay, some of the you can say very famous verdict of Supreme Court which say that Supreme Court and other courts are in favor of implementing you can say uniform civil code, that is Sahabano case and Sarla Mudgal। You can research कि ये दोनों केस क्या है और कैसे ये दोनों केस अलग है, एक पोलीगामी के ऊपर है और एक ट्रिपल तलाक के ऊपर है, सरला मुदगल केस। And even Law Commission, even you can say some of the High Court verdicts suggest that in India there should be a uniform civil code। So you read in detail why it should be implemented, what are the steps and how it should be implemented, how government can take all the stakeholders together before implementation। The government cannot force to follow this civil code law as it is related to religious affair as well। So there can be bad implication of this also. So it is a challenging always. So just try to write these answers and we'll check that and we'll say what is the way to write this answer. Okay. Any question? Okay. Thank you.